Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we continue our skincare showdown series that I'm running here on the channel, looking at the Hall of Fame and Hall of Shame products in every single category of our skincare. We've already covered growth factors, we've touched on vitamin C's, and I've pulled this series together in a playlist which I'm going to leave a link to up there. So definitely want to check out if you've already missed a couple of the installments. But today is the turn of peptides. I think in 2025, most of us will reach for a peptide serum somewhere in our skincare routine, and most brands have a peptide in their collection. However, the quality of these peptide serums varies wildly. So in today's video, I want to share with you some of the very best out there, showcasing what to look out for when it comes to selecting a peptide serum, and some of the total fails, helping us to know what to avoid so we can get maximum bang for our buck. Sit back, relax, and let's talk the Hall of Fame, Hall of Shame Peptide Edition. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my own hot take when it comes to peptide serums, but I want to hear yours. What's your current daily go-to peptide that you reach for in your skincare routine? Shout it out down in the comment section below. I always love to hear your skincare favourites because they really do shape the products I try out and review here on the channel in the future. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much. I'd also love just a cheeky little favour from you guys. If you happen to be enjoying this series, let me know by reaching down and giving the video a big thumbs up and a like. The more likes the video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform. So it just means as many people as possible can discover our wonderful Mad About Skin family. And for that, I'm always so grateful. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So starting out strong with the positive vibes, I want to share with you some of the very best peptide serums, but these aren't just personal recommendations, they represent different categories within the peptide sphere, hopefully helping you guys to understand what to look out for, what good looks like when it comes to selecting a peptide. And I have 3 different categories that I'm going to come on to. I'll be sharing the Hall of Shame, the things to avoid later on, so I've left some timestamps down in the description box below if you want to navigate to one section of the video over another. I've also listed all the products mentioned down in the description box below, so if you didn't quite catch the name, if you want to read the reviews, make a purchase, all those links are there for your convenience. Now let's start out strong with what I think is the very best class of peptides, and that's those products that contain peptides and growth factors together. Now the reason this is so special is peptides and growth factors are like a match made in heaven. Growth factors are technically a subset of peptides in their own right, but the skincare community really categorizes them separately, and I think it's right to do so because growth factors are fantastic at boosting collagen and elastin production. They also help feed the body everything they need in order to deliver that maximum collagen production, so they're great for anti-aging. Peptides also have some pro-aging benefits to them, but they do a whole host of other things. Certain peptides can boost radiance and luminosity in the skin, others can help calm inflammation and hydrate. And so by using anti-aging growth factors alongside a blend of great peptides, you're really getting maximum benefit and harnessing the power of both. Now, usually these peptide and growth factor combinations do come with a slightly higher price point, so I'm going to call that out now, but I have got 3 recommendations I'm going to make, one for each price bracket. Starting out with the very best growth factor peptide combo, it's of course this little favourite of mine. This is the Allies of Skin Multi-Peptides and Growth Factors Advanced Lifting Serum. Bar none, this is the best firming and lifting serum you will ever try. It works particularly well alongside the jaw. This was an area of concern for me about 18 months ago. I started using this alongside some facial massage to really help tone this area, and it's made such a difference. You don't have to take my word for it. Obviously, I put my life online here, so look back to one of my videos, say like 18 months ago. I'll dig one out. And I'll link it up there for you. Check that video out and then compare today. I've definitely seen a noticeable difference in terms of the firmness around the jawline, and honestly, I attribute it solely to this product. So good, and uses those growth factors and peptides in order to do it. Now this comes with a higher price point, so it's not going to be for everyone, but I have included a little cheeky discount code that I use every time I buy this one down in the description box, which takes 20% off. So it does bring that price point down a little, but genuinely, if you're in it for the results and you don't mind spending a little bit more, this is where it's at. To take it down a price bracket though, I want to talk about the Medik8 Liquid Peptides Advance. Now they had their original liquid peptides, which was just the peptides. They now have an advanced version which contains growth factors too. They have a great range of different growth factors in this, and whilst I wouldn't say the technology is as advanced as in the Allies of Skin, it comes at half the price. So you can make a huge cost saving and still get some really, really great results. I think this is a great mid-market price point that allows you to get those growth factors and peptides together, and it just feels so beautiful on the skin. This is one of their latest launches, and I think this has really reinvigorated people's excitement in Medik8 as a brand, and for good reason. Now, for the absolute budget-friendly option, for people that don't want to have to splurge when it comes to that peptide and growth factor combo, you could always reach for the Stratia interface. Now, if you're shopping in the North American market, easy to get your hands on Stratia. Here in the UK, in the European Union, a little bit trickier, but it can be done. If you can find this, it's an amazing option. Again, growth factors and peptides together. This comes at a fraction of the cost of the other two recommendations, but just note that the type of growth factors used in this isn't quite as advanced as either of the other two. So you are compromising slightly, but for that price point, honestly, I think this is wonderful. And I really wanted to give 3 different options to know that if you're looking to get peptides and growth factors together in your routine, you really don't need to compromise. There is a price bracket out there for everyone, as long as we set our expectations. Now, the second category of amazingness in peptides that I want to call out are copper peptides. Copper peptides are fantastic at promoting collagen and elastin production, similar to growth factors, but they're also great because they're anti-inflammatory and they also protect the skin. They're a potent antioxidant. I think a lot of people say that they use copper peptides in order to boost firmness and elasticity, and it definitely works for that. But they often say, as an unexpected consequence of that, they have a brighter, more radiant complexion. And I think this is one of the hidden gem benefits of copper peptides. They really help illuminate the skin, brighten everything up, and for that, they'll always be a core part in my skincare routine. Now, there's loads of different copper peptides out there, but the number one reason people don't bother with them is because they think they're too complex to fit in their skincare routine. We are told so often, and incorrectly as it happens, that you can't use copper peptides alongside vitamin C, exfoliating acids, retinoids, and so people say, right, well, if I have to lose half of my routine in order to use copper peptides, what's the point? I'm not interested. And I hear that, but just know that there is no study out there that shows you can't use your copper peptides alongside any of those. And if you're still feeling a little bit anxious or a bit dubious about doing so, reach for encapsulated copper peptides. This is the future of copper peptides in my book, because that encapsulation provides like a shield around the copper peptides, protecting them from anything that the world throws at them. So you know that when you use an encapsulated copper peptide, you're getting maximum performance, no interaction with anything else. It's also great because that encapsulation makes it more sensitive skin friendly. So if you're somebody that's had a reaction to copper peptides in the past, maybe it sensitized the skin, using an encapsulated version will again prolong the release, so delay and minimize the risk of any sensitivity reaction. So for me, that's win-win-win, ding, ding, ding. Now, there are lots of encapsulated copper peptides coming onto the market now. I think this is really the future of copper peptides. It's where a lot of brands are going. And my 2 favorite are as follows. So one from my own brand, this is the Mad About Skin Copper Peptide Serum. This is encapsulated, which means you're getting that 3% copper peptide in here in encapsulated form, meaning you can use this alongside anything. Next to an exfoliator, alongside a vitamin C, alongside tretinoin, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're using in your routine, you can use this alongside it because of that encapsulation. You've also got 17% concentration of other peptides in here, gireline, matrixyl, all the great anti-aging holy grails. So this really is a powerhouse. I actually use this. Most people will use their copper peptides on an evening. That's when it's recommended. But you can actually use, if you reach for a product like this that isn't expensive and is encapsulated, you can use it twice a day. On an evening, on a morning. You're getting double the benefit. This acts as a copper peptide and a peptide serum all in one, so it'll help you to streamline morning, evening. Use this and you'll see some great anti-aging results. And because of that encapsulation, it's more sensitive skin friendly. You're still getting the maximum results and you can use it seamlessly, whatever your skincare routine contains. Another great recommendation, because you don't just have to shop my brand, there are so many other options out there, is the Naturium Advanced Peptide Complex. Again, encapsulated copper peptides. And a lot of people will say to me, how has this got copper peptides in when it's clear? Well, that encapsulation is what changes the color, alters the color of this, which is absolutely normal. You'll see that in encapsulated copper peptides. But basically how encapsulation works is that shield that's around the copper peptide breaks down once it's in our skin getting to work, and then it releases all that copper peptide goodness. So when people say about this one, oh, it's clear, could it actually work? Does it have a high concentration? It does. It has a great concentration of copper peptides, but the form of copper peptides that they've reached for and that encapsulation does alter the colour. And this for me is something that I hope more people will kind of understand as we go through 2025, that we need to look at the formulations, look at how they're created, the types of ingredients used in order to determine the benefit. And this one by Naturium is phenomenal, one of my absolute favourites. So yes, copper peptides are one of the best in when it comes to the Hall of Fame in Peptide Edition. But I would say personally, reach for encapsulated. That way you can take the stress out of it, you can make it more sensitive skin friendly, and you just know you're getting maximum results. Now, finally, when it comes to the Hall of Fame element in peptides, I want to talk about high concentration peptide serums. Those products that come with a super high dose of the key peptides, and that's where I think the real benefit lies. I would personally never reach for a peptide serum that has a concentration less than 20%, because I just don't think you're going to get the results, and I don't want to pay for something that's not going to deliver. So look for peptide blends which contain a concentration of above 20%, and importantly from a brand that discloses the strength. None of this hiding behind like trademarks and patents and all that nonsense. We want to know the percentage of peptides that's in a product so we can invest our hard-earned coin where it's going to deliver the most benefits. Now, there's lots of different high strength options out there. In fact, all the ones that I've spoken about so far today have high dose concentrations of peptides. One of my personal favorites is the Theramid Derma Peptides. This is a 35% concentration of a blend of amazing peptides. It's going to deliver you fantastic hydration to the skin, plumping, great anti-aging, and over time it's even going to help even out skin tone and fade hyperpigmentation. This is a wonderful product, and I'm here to say, when it comes to peptides, choose wisely. Go with a brand that will disclose the percentage you're getting and aim for 20% or higher. Like I say, with brands like Theramid going up to 35%, if you're keen on your peptides, this is how you get that high dose action. So in this video, we've got those positive vibes flowing. We know what to look out for in terms of an effective peptide serum, making our lives easier when it comes to encapsulation, reaching for a peptide and growth factor blend in order to maximize anti-aging, and of course, knowing the concentration in order to get the maximum dose. But there are a couple of things I want to call out now in the Hall of Shame, things that I personally would avoid. First and foremost, single peptide formulations. Now, peptides come in many different forms and they have many different benefits. And I think in order to truly get the maximum outcomes from your peptide serum, you need to reach for one that has multiple different beneficial peptides, so you're harnessing the power of each and every one of them. You're never going to get that with single peptide formulations. And so for me, I feel buying a peptide serum, have a look on the ingredients list, turn it, have a look on the ingredients list, and make sure there's at least 2, 3, 4 or more peptides in that. Otherwise, I think you're going to be fairly limited in terms of the results you'll see. The one exception I make to this is this is the ordinary Azuraline solution. Now, Azuraline is a very specific peptide known as Botox in a bottle for its ability to immediately remove fine lines and wrinkles. It's amazing, and this is a standalone peptide serum that I would genuinely invest in. I have done for years, but with the exception of Azuraline, I would look for formulas that have multiple peptides in order to get the maximum benefits from each and every one of them. And of course, last but not no means least, I would say personally avoid peptide moisturizers. Now, the reason I say this is most peptide moisturizers will contain just one peptide, which we've just spoken about, and also in a relatively low concentration, a low dose. So you're not going to get a whole host of additional benefits. Now, if you're already using a peptide serum and you want to supplement it with a peptide moisturizer, go ahead. That could work great, but I don't think using a peptide moisturizer in isolation is ever going to give you the results that you need. This for me is just personal preference, and if you really like moisturizers and you want to get your peptides through them, there are some options out there, but I'd just say proceed with caution. Most of them will have just one peptide in a very low or undisclosed dose, and I don't think you're ever going to get the true benefits you could get if you were reaching for a well-formulated peptide serum. So there you have it, guys, the Skincare Hall of Fame, Hall of Shame Peptide Edition. Hopefully this will help you navigate the peptide world and work out what best product fits your individual skin's needs. Opt for encapsulation to make your life easy. Pair your growth factors and your peptides together for maximum anti-aging. And of course, check the dose, the concentration to make sure you're benefiting from a high amount of peptides to get the maximum results. Let me know your thoughts and your favourites down in the comment section below, and wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.